Alright guys, so I was thinking that one thing that is very important to do well in the final is to make sure that you know how to fill in the unit circle. And instead of drawing 50,000 unit circles, I thought it was best that I go through and I show you once more how we derive the unit circle. And once you have your unit circle filled out, it makes these problems infinitely easier. So if you're having little issues with creating a unit circle, just watch this video. Hopefully it clears up everything. Okay, so you'll get a sheet like this on your final, and what you need to do is you need to obviously fill in the unit circle. What I recommend you do is, just like we did in class, pay attention to the degrees first. And we know that the increments that the degrees go up in are 0, plus 30, plus 45, plus 30, plus 15, plus 15, plus 30. So this next value is going to be plus 30. So it's 60 plus 30 is 90. So again, 0 plus 30 is 30. 30 plus 15 is 45. 45 plus 15 is 60. 60 plus 30 is 90. And this pattern keeps going, so then it's just plus 30, plus 15, plus 15, plus 30, plus 30, plus 15, plus 15, plus 30, 270, plus 30, very exciting, I know, plus 15, plus 15, plus 30. Okay? That's from being 360. So, again, the pattern, just use your 30, 15, 15, 30, 30, 15, 15, 30, etc., etc. So now that we have that, what we're going to do is we're going to go through the radians. So the radians start, we know this value here is going to be 0. And what we said was the easiest way to memorize the radians is to start actually at the North Pole here. And this value here is going to be pi over 2. Alright, and this, what we said is we're going to go down each of these. So this way and this way. We're going to go down and do the denominators. And they're always going to be the same thing. It's going to go 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 6. Then we go down to the South Pole. And the first one is 3 pi over 2. And again, the pattern is 3, 4, 6. And 3, 4, 6. Okay. What we said for the first one is they're all going to be pi, pi, pi. And the second one, we take the denominator and we subtract 1. So 3 minus 1 is 2. 4 minus 1 is 3. 6 minus 1 is 5. Okay. Down here, what's the pattern? We said the pattern is actually to add 1. So 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. And 6 plus 1 is 7. And we said in the last one, we said that the easiest way to memorize this is we think about the high fives at the 7, 11. Okay, so you think about you and your friends doing a high five in front of this quickie mark. You're like, yeah, Slurpees rule, yeah, woo! Okay, so we have these values. Now, and of course we know that this one is 2 pi, and this is a pi. I'm a little hungry. Okay, so after we make a bad cheesy joke, what we do is why don't we just go after the quadrant angles? Those are easy. So first one is, remember, keep in mind that in the unit circle, the radius is 1. So this is 1, comma 0. And if we're going up 1, then the x remains 0, but the y is 1. Over here, we're going to the left. So if you're at 0, 0, if you go to the left, then you're like my bank account. You're in deficit. And here we're going down. So if you're going down, or as Arnold said, you go down, then this is also going to be 0. I mean, it's a 0 for the x, but the y is going to be negative, so -1. All right, so we got all those values. Last bit, we have to get these other angles here. We have to figure out what these other values are. And this is going to be, what I recommend you do is just run through and you put 2's everywhere. So 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. It's funny because as I say 2, 2, I'm actually putting just 1, 2 instead of 2. That's what you call irony. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2. Cool. So now we got 2's all over the place. And the next step, as we said, the pattern is that we're going down from 1. So you start with 1, then we say it's 2, then we say it's 3. The other side repeats, except in the reverse order. So 3, 2, 1. Okay. Technically, you can square root everything, but what we said was we're going to just square root 3 and 2's. Okay, because the square root of 1 is 1. That's kind of redundant. And actually, the pattern continues. Remember, the x's are in order. 1, 2, 3. And the y's are in reverse. So 3, 2, 1. And then you square root. Okay. The bottom, same thing. Remember, you always start from the bottom pole and you go up. So this is going to become 1, 2, 3, and 3, 2, 1. Square root. Square root. Square root. Over here, same thing. 1, 2, 3, and 3, 2, 1. Square root, square root. Okay. Alright, now that we've done this, we feel good about ourselves. We got a little math swag going on here. But we're not done. Because while everything is positive, and everybody's happy in quadrant 1, over here in quadrant 2, we have some negative values. Note that the x is negative here, so if the x is negative, then all my x values are negative. And over here, we have in quadrant 3, both the x and the y are negative, so both the x and the y's are negative. Okay? And in the last quadrant, what's only negative? Yeah, that's right, only the y. So you only make y negative. Why? Okay, so we have our unit circle essentially filled out. Also, by the way, I like putting C and S above these, just to emphasize that it's cosine, sine, cosine, sine, cosine, sine. And the way that we memorize that is we think that cosine comes before sine, alphabetical order, C comes before S, just like X comes before Y. CS, 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 CS. Alright, now before I go, there is one more thing I need to mention here, and it would drive me insane if I didn't show you guys what actually is going on here. As you think about this, this is just, there's two ways of counting this. If we count in terms of 30, this is just in increments of pi over 6. So pi over 6, 2 pi over 6, which if you reduce 2 pi over 6, you actually get pi over 3. 3 pi over 6, 4 pi over 6, 5 pi over 6, 6 pi over 6, 7 pi over 6, 8 pi over 6, 9 pi over 6, 10 pi over 6, 11 pi over 6, 12 pi over 6. So if you reduce these values, you get all the other values of the unit circle, and that's really the big deal here. Also, if we do 45, this is just increments of pi over 4. So pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, 4 pi over 4, 5 pi over 4, 6 pi over 4, 7 pi over 4, 8 pi over 4. So it's worth noting that these values that we've generated via Radians, they're not just out of nowhere. They do actually make sense. They do actually come from some specific value. It's also worth noting, of course, that the way we get these values here, they're generated from the 30, 60, 90, the 45, 45, 90, this, and then again the 30, 60, 90. In this case, I guess the 60, 30, 90 triangle, where the radius is 1. And that's how we generate the rest of these values. So hopefully this helps you to create a unit circle, so in the future you can create it on your own. You can have fun doing it. I recommend you race your neighbor with it. Yes, knock on your neighbor's door and say, hey, would you like to race me with the unit circle? They'll be probably ecstatic with joy and would love to do so. All right, see you next time.